she sends him another email saying, I'm coming up there Memorial Day weekend, whether you like it or not. I will show up at your doorstep. I deserve a face-to-face.
Oh, that's a really bad idea. I'm getting stressed.
Hello. Welcome back to People Are the Worst.
Squad goals.
Squad goals?
Y'all are our squad goals.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whenever Rebecca asks how she should caption something, I always throw out a squad goals for her. She never does it, though. It's so annoying.
Well,
guess what?
What?
Literally, as we were hitting record, we got an alert that Asheville has clean water. Official boil advisory over after 53 days.
Wow.
I don't know. I might stick it out
scared?
for a few more days. Yeah.
Just get it from your refrigerator.
No, I need a new filter isn't here yet. So a refrigerator I'm not touching.
Wait, the one that just like dispenses from your door?
Yeah. We have not been able to use that either. That's connected to city water. You thought that was like the magic one? You thought we've been able to use that the whole time?
No, I guess I don't.
You thought that was like the magic water that came from heaven and fairy tears. No, that's city of Asheville. Dirty as shit. So
sorry.
And I need a new filter for that anyway. So no, I'm not going to be using that. I'm still hesitant on the sink water, so we'll see. I might just let the supplies of bottled water run out and then approach tap. But it's a very good progress.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. It was probably it was looking like mid-December, and here we are, good. November 18th, back at it.
That's exciting.
Very exciting. Go city workers.
What else?
I don't know.
I think I can just get right into it.
Here we go.
I haven't told you shit. I am telling you about Bill Stout.
Man,
you always do that.
No, I do not. You said it. There's a bill in my bonus episode that we need to record this week.
Oh, I thought you were going to be... Okay, sorry. I thought you were going to do that bit where you're like, oh, you are, as if you know who that is, but you don't.
No, I thought, just for some reason when you said it, I had the other Bill's name in my mind, and I was like, are you kidding?
Oh my God.
I'm shocked we haven't done that. I really am shocked we haven't done that. But no, I'm not doing Bill Stout in my bonus episode. But whew, close call.
Okay, close call. Sources: the court documents, ma'am, Murderpedia and Ravelli Republic, which I had to pay for, no free trial. So
bummer.
Trigger warning.
Oh, God.
I don't talk about it a lot, but there is mention of suicide. It's not very relevant to the overall case at hand, but it is a part of this family story. So there you go.
Damn.
On June 9th, 2007, Ann Stout and her youngest son, Matt, who was 16 years old at the time, had just come home from their all-day shopping trip in Missoula, Montana. It's not the Missoula Mauler, but I did recently do that.
You did.
They actually live in Darby, Montana, which is about an hour and a half away, but Darby is tiny. So when they need to go, like when they need to run big errands, it's an all-day event.
Yeah.
And
they go to the city.
Yeah, they go to the big city, and they went to like Costco, Walmart. They went shopping and whatever.
Yeah.
So they left around 8 a.m. and we're back around 4:30 p.m. Matt immediately goes downstairs and suddenly hears Ann screaming in a panic. She runs to Matt and yells at him to get out of the house. They get in the car and they race over to their neighbor's house. Yes, it is driving distance. And they call 911 on the way. Ann tells dispatch that she just found Bill still in bed, covered in blood. She doesn't know what's happening, but she got close enough to see that there were 2 huge bruises on his eyes. And he didn't respond to her, so she ran. And why she ran and told Matt to get out of the house will become very clear once you have the full backstory.
Oh,
but first,
how old's Matt? Sorry.
16.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I wasn't curious why she would tell her 16-year-old to get out of the house. It's clearly been an attack.
Sure. But, you know, people get suspicious of like running away from the crime scene when the dispatch will be like, wait, no, go do CPR. And I got to get out of the house.
Yeah.
But first, let me give you a little history. Let's talk about Ann and Bill Stout. So they met in California and got married in the mid 80s. She had been married before and had a child named Ben from her first marriage. And when she met Bill, he adopted Ben as his own. They became really close. They were father and son, not at all like stepfather and stepson. They were father and son. I have no idea what happened to his biological father. He's really not mentioned anywhere. But obviously, if your son is being adopted by another man, he's very
not
clearly
around.
out of your life completely. Yeah.
Sure.
But it all worked out. That's fine because they got married. They had 2 more sons, Noah and Matt. Bill was from California originally and he installed drywall, but always wanted to live on a ranch and live the more, rugged lifestyle, which the fam was all on board for. So they bought 20 acres of land in Darby, Montana, and he
Damn.
built their house from the ground up while still working in drywall and doing all that. And Ann focused on raising those boys, which she loved doing. And I can only imagine how much fun those kids had growing up on 20 acres. I mean,
my God. It would be
they
insane.
also, I know, 3 boys, a dream.
Bye. Come back when it's dark.
So you took that as fun for the parents, not for the.
But
I was saying for the kids.
All of the above. No, them too.
Yeah.
We used to go to our best friend's farm growing up all the time. And I was thinking about this the other day as I was driving through Bumblefuck, Georgia. All that acreage, one house with not a neighbor in sight. We would like play hide and seek, but the person who was had to be on a golf cart because there's so much land. I'm like, that is so fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun life.
Wasn't that fun, Elaine? Remember?
Yeah, she remembers.
Yeah, she remembers. Yeah, it's fun.
All 3 boys were also very good at school. They were all great students. Ben, their oldest, went to the University of Montana in 2000, but tragedy struck his freshman year.
No.
Yeah. He came home from winter break, and while he was home alone, he left an obscure note on the refrigerator, went out into the woods, and took his life. I'm not sure what the note said. I don't know. I don't know why. Based on an interview with Noah, who was only 11 at the time, it seems the family knows why, and so we're just going to let them have that.
Oh no.
But Noah did later say that even though he was only 11, he blamed himself for his suicide. And for years, he had recurring nightmares of being chased by something or someone. And in the dream, he's trying to carry Ben to rescue him.
Stop.
Oh, I know. It's so sad. And to experience something like that at 11.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's in his dream. This 11-year-old boy is trying to carry his 18-year-old brother to safety. I can't.
You don't need a psychology degree to unpack that one.
No shit.
Sad.
And Matt was the youngest at only 9 years old. So I cannot imagine the extremely difficult questions they must have had.
Yeah.
Ann and Bill had been married about 15 years by the time this happened. And this was their first major challenge. I mean, losing a child puts a strain on any relationship.
Yeah.
But they got through it. They were a strong family. Again, I mean, married 15 years, pretty good. And they had a great support system. Darby is about 800 people today. So,
oh, wow.
This is 2000. So when something tragic happens, everyone knows about it. It was all anyone could talk about. Everyone was in mourning with them and everyone rallied behind them, which is so helpful when really shitty things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So again, they got through it. They come to terms with it. And for the next 5 years, it's business as usual. Everything's great. So now we're in 2005. Bill gets an invitation to a wedding in that's not how you say Fort Smith.
Fort Smith.
Fort Smith, Arkansas. An old high school friend who lives there now was getting married. And for some reason, I don't know why, but Ann didn't go. I don't know if she couldn't or what. I don't know. But regardless, he went and he ran into an old girlfriend from high school, Barbara Miller, which I'm led to believe he kind of ghosted her back in high school. I don't know how that would work when you see each other every day. Math class would be extremely uncomfortable for sure.
Incredibly. I see you, Bill. Yeah. Answer my text.
Why aren't you? Yeah.
Why are you? I've called you. Why are you not speaking
my text?
To me?
That's in the 70s.
She was ahead of her time, in my mind. Yeah, that would be very. Why do you think that?
Well, you'll see. It was just kind of a bitter. Maybe he just dumped her unexpectedly. But
okay.
At this point, it's water under the bridge. They hadn't seen each other since they broke up, and they're both 50 now. So, it really, it's irrelevant how
Does
he
not matter.
dumped
All
her.
right.
It does not matter.
Great.
So they started catching up. Barbara explained she got married after high school, but was recently divorced and living in Arkansas now. They ended up going to a bar, and at last call, they decided they were not done to call it a night. So they went back to Bill's hotel.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. One thing led to another, and they ended up having sex. And it wasn't a one-time thing. That was only night one. They went to the wedding together. They essentially spent the entire weekend together.
They had a little affair on the weekend. They were dating.
Yes, they were dating that weekend.
Oh, my God.
Bill told her he wasn't happy in his marriage, and he didn't want to stop seeing Barbara. So for weeks after the wedding, they kept in touch. They wrote each other emails, love letters, and none the wiser, of course. They would talk on the phone every day, and eventually Bill tells Barbara to move to Montana, and they would figure out how to be together. Went as far as buying her a plane ticket for her somewhere in Montana, like a resort town, for the Memorial Day weekend so that they could have a little getaway together.
Oh, and he was going to say, Ann, have a business trip?
Yeah, something. Okay. BRB.
Wow. Ooh.
But a few months into this double life, Ann got a phone call.
Shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, God.
It was from a woman whose voice Ann didn't recognize, and she wouldn't say her name. She still have no idea who it was to this day.
Oh.
But said she was at a wedding in Arkansas and told her, I just want you to know your husband and his high school girlfriend are having an affair. They're screwing behind your back, Ann, and she hangs up. Would you be able to do that? Call a stranger and ruin her life?
Yeah. The husband ruined her life.
No, sure.
Depends on my relationship. Like, do I know this for a fact? Is it one of my friends? No, yeah, I could probably do it.
Okay.
I don't know. Whoa. Okay.
No, I was just wondering. I'm not judging. I would.
It really depends on the situation. Yes, it depends on the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would be a tough call to make. You're married at 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you something, stranger. Oof. Yeah, you better be damn sure. Yeah. Or this woman has clearly been cheated on.
Oh, yeah. Wait, we don't know. So that was not Barbara.
No.
Okay.
No. That was a woman scorned. She's been through it, and she's on a mission to out every cheater in there.
Yes, she is.
She's going to out every cheater she can get her hands on.
She's like, who's next?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Ann confronts Bill, and he folds like a piece of paper. He confesses to everything. He has a complete change of heart. He's very apologetic, and he does not want out of this marriage. He wants to work on it. And she's on the same page. She does not want out either. I didn't mention this before, but when Ann was 4 years old, her and her 4 other siblings were abandoned by their dad. So she never knew him. Yeah. So she grew up without a dad. And that was tough, obviously. It would suck. Let's just call it what it is. But that plus whatever happened to her first husband, who Ben never really knew, I can only imagine her determination for stability. Like she wants a stable family life. So she said she would not divorce him under the very reasonable circumstance that he has to end things with Barbara and never contact or speak to her again. So he agreed.
Great.
Yeah. He wrote Barbara an email that essentially said, I've made a mistake. Please don't contact me anymore. I'm staying with my wife, but I hope we can be friends. That's not going to work for Barbara.
That's not going to work for Ann either. No friends. No, sorry.
I know. I don't know why I said that. I'm like,
we said no contact. This is a friend you're never going to speak to again. Fine. Sure.
Right. Yeah. Babs is pissed, needless to say. I mean, she was selling her house. They were making life plans.
Oh, she was on board for the whole move thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Selling her house. They talked about marriage. So she calls him, but he doesn't answer. So she writes him back and essentially says, you better call me and talk to me about this. You owe me a conversation, et cetera, et cetera. But given his promise to Ann, this email went unanswered.
Oh, he's ghosting her again. She's like, this isn't high school, buddy. Well, I'm not just going to let it go and go to promise your best friend to get you back. I'm not doing that this time. I'm pissed. And I want a conversation. We're adults.
Wow. She sends him another email saying, I'm coming up there Memorial Day weekend, whether you like it or not. I will show up at your doorstep. I deserve a face-to-face.
Oh, that's a really bad idea. I'm getting stressed. Oh,
And again, this went unanswered. Talk
someone
about
better
a
start hitting
dun.
reply. Someone better start hitting reply before shit gets real. I don't like this one bit.
Luckily, it appeared to be a bluff. She did not show up Memorial Day weekend, thank God. And after about a month, things seemed to kind of get back to normal. No contact to or from Barbara, as promised. Then one random summer day in 2005, Bill got an email from the handle freakofarc@yahoo.com that said, I love you. We will be together. We're going to meet face to face. So he's like, what?
Hey, who's this?
What? I don't know. But
Please
again,
don't.
he did not respond. So she once again tells him she bought a plane ticket and she will be in Montana soon.
Kids, and we got to pack up. We're going to move.
Yeah, we're moving.
We're moving. Don't tell anyone.
Dodge.
We're out of here.
Nope. He did not respond. Not even to be like, okay, please do not do that. But he does tell Ann about these emails, and he says, like, she's probably bluffing again, but full transparency, this chick is threatening to show up at our doorstep. And Ann's pissed at him for putting them in this situation, but at the same time, it's like, she's bullshit. Like, she doesn't know our address. And Bill's like, we kind of wrote handwritten love letters to each other. Sorry. And she's like, fuck you.
And in a small town, Darby, Montana, all she has to know is Darby, Montana. She could find you.
Yeah, that's true.
She could go to the town center and be like, hey, do y'all know Bill and Ann Stout? Where's their house?
Yeah.
Their family that I'm going to drop off a present. They're like, oh, up the hill to the right.
Right. 20 acres. Can't miss it.
Can't miss it. Yikes. So
every email goes unanswered. Then one day, Bill's best friend and business partner takes him to lunch and is like, so I got an email from someone with the email address Montana Barb 2001.
Oh, Barb.
Montana Barb.
Yikes.
And the subject line is old friends and lovers never go away. And it details the entire relationship between Bill and Barbara. Need I remind you, this town is 800 people. And this woman is outing an affair that Ann has forgiven him for. And they really don't want anyone to know about it. This is one of his best friends and he didn't know.
I wouldn't either. Oh, God.
No, of course not. They were going to take this to the grave, him and Ann. So now Bill's getting a little scared. And how the hell did she get his friend's email address? So he tells him to ignore it. And he says that this chick is off her rocker, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yikes. Okay, now can he respond to an email?
No, not yet.
Great.
Then one day, Ann's doing something around the house, and Matt and Noah walk in the room and ask if Dad cheated on her. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? Of course not. And they said, we just got a letter from someone saying he did. And she's like, bring that to me. And it is sure enough postmarked from Arkansas, and it explains everything, how Bill dumped her in high school. That's how I know it was a bitter breakup back then. And how they rekindled recently and they're meant to be together and she can't wait to meet them. Essentially, she's going to take Ann's place.
It's written out to the boys? How old are they at this point?
Around 14 and 16.
Okay.
So middle school, high schoolish.
Bunch of questions.
So Ann comes clean to her kids, but gives them the bare minimum of information. Tells them he made a one-time mistake, didn't say it was a full-on months-long affair. And explains they're staying married and she's forgiven them and to not worry about anything. Long story short, Barbara continues writing pretty much everyone in town, emails or letters. Matt and Noah's friends are getting emails with the story of their affair.
Oh, those poor boys.
Bizarre.
Those poor boys.
How humiliating for everyone involved.
It really is. Like, we're packing up. We're out of here. We have to go somewhere where no one knows us because how embarrassing.
So obviously everyone in town is talking about this. Everyone knows their entire business. And the same friend who took Bill to lunch tells him he got another one from Barbara saying she was pregnant and asked that he make sure Bill knows.
Is that possible?
No. This is completely crap because at this point, it's been almost a year since he cut off the affair. And not to mention, she's 50. She's not getting pregnant with anyone's baby. Let's face it.
I mean, weirder things have happened, I suppose, but certainly not with his.
No.
Congratulations. Have a good life with your kid and that dad.
Yeah, and whoever's dad that is. So Ann's had enough, and she calls Barbara. She thinks maybe if she talks to her like woman to woman and treats her like a human, she'll cut the shit out. So she talks to her and is like, I acknowledge you're in love with my husband. I get y'all had a relationship of some bullshittery. We have kids together. We're staying together. Wish you well in all your endeavors. See ya.
Bye-bye. Congrats on the pregnancy.
Shortly after this.
You've defied odds on so many levels, but sure. Congratulations.
On your miracle, baby.
Yeah.
Shortly after this, everyone who's already gotten a letter from Barb's gets an invitation. A full-on invitation for a Montana barbecue to kick off Bill and Barbara's engagement.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
I would be like, we're definitely going to see the show, but this is batshit.
I mean, so Ann and Bill go to the police station, report
I thought it was
going to
be a baby. I thought it was going to be a baby shower invitation.
No, it's an engagement party.
Oh, engagement party. Sorry. Wow.
Ann and Bill go to the police station to report the harassment. They can't get a restraining order yet because at this point it's just harassment. Sending fake invitations is not illegal. It's only hilarious.
It's only batshit crazy.
However, one creepy ass day, Noah is driving home and notices a car's been following him for a while. He can't tell if it's a man or woman, but he's definitely on edge. And he's probably constantly on edge with all this shit going on. So he's definitely paying attention. But when he pulls into his driveway, they continue to go straight. So big sigh of relief for Noah. And he writes it off as it being in his head. And he's just paranoid. Well, that very night, he's laying in bed and hears a car pulling into their driveway. But he's too nervous to go to the window. So he stays in bed. Then he suddenly hears tap, tap, tap.
No.
Someone is tapping on the window.
Hell no.
And luckily, he is laying with his back towards the window. So he doesn't even have to pretend, like he doesn't even have to fake sleep, but he is frozen in fear. He refuses to look at the window, but says, without a doubt, someone was tapping.
Shit.
This was confirmed the next morning when they went outside and all of their cars were vandalized.
Oh, no.
They were egged and shit was smeared on them. And I don't mean that in the general sense, like feces was spread on each of their cars.
Gross.
It's disgusting.
Human?
Then I don't know. They didn't say.
I feel bad like cracking jokes and laughing at all this. It's obviously very scary and very serious, but the barbecue is ridiculous.
Yeah, no. And got it.
The engagement party is.
Like,
does that day come and go?
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Okay, no one shows up?
Yeah. So at this point, they're like, this broad is.
That is so insane. Sorry. We know this is like clearly unhinged behavior.
And mental illness is not funny, we know, but like you got to get, when you get a little softball, like a fake engagement party invitation, I just got on.
Like, what do we do about this? Move. Where are the moving trucks? I'm out of here.
And then on top of the vandalized cars, they notice like their plants are smashed in front of their house. So now they go to the police and like, okay, now we can report a vandalism.
Yeah, coming on our property.
So then Bill notices stuff missing from inside the house. He sees like a credit card and some financial information and documents are gone. So he tells the police, look, I'm scared. This is a rugged mountain man. And he's straight up like, I'm scared my batshit ex-girlfriend is in town and I don't know what she's going to do. At this point, they're looking into a restraining order, but it's a little tricky since they can't confirm it's actually her. Ann's all for it. And because Bill obviously knows where Barbara works, Ann calls Barbara's boss to first be like, hey, I want you to know what your employee is spending her days doing, writing everyone in my town freaking letters. But also, if we put a restraining order out on her, she'll be served at work. So I just want to give you the heads up because I do not know how she'll react. Something ain't right with her, whatever.
Yeah.
So the boss says if she's doing this shit and is served at work, I'm letting her go. So
I'm
Bill and Ann,
nervous on a few fronts about that. Okay, go on. I guess. I don't know.
well, they decide against it. They decide not to move forward. They don't want to ruin her life and like get her fired. But B, think of the retaliation.
Well, now her boss knows though. It's so
Yeah.
awkward.
Sure, but you're doing that shit at work. What are you doing?
Oh, I know. No, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But like, okay, never mind, boss. We're not gonna do it. So no need to fire her. He's like, or she's like, well, I hate now that she works
Knowing
here.
this, I'm in a
Now
pickle.
I hate that she works here knowing all this. I want to let her go. So could y'all actually do that?
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't know.
You know?
So this has been going on at this point for 2 years now. 2. That's a long time. And May 30th, 2007, Bill runs into the police department, panicked because he just noticed his 9mm Beretta holster and 3 rounds of ammo, so 3 bullets, are all missing. Obviously, they are well aware of his situation, and they tell him, if you know it was your stalker, we can press charges and have Barbara arrested. But because there's, again, no proof, he's a little hesitant to do that just yet. There's still a little part of him that's like, if it wasn't her, I don't know. Like, even being stalked for 2 years, he still doesn't want to come off dramatic. I'm like, no, dude, you can.
Let's do the drama. That's okay.
Let's do it.
No one's going to think you're less of a man.
Right.
There's a gun missing.
Sure. And your family's being stalked. So Ann is now just petrified and reaches out to Barbara and says, I'm divorcing Bill. He is all yours. You win. She just wants to get her and Matt out of there. Noah's in college at this point. Matt's the only one. And
figured.
So she's like, peace out. You win. You can have them. Bye. About a week goes by and there's no sign of Barbara. It's completely silent. Then after the 10th day, since he reported missing the gun, holster, and bullets, Ann and Matt come home from that shopping trip and they find Bill dead.
Yeah. Was Ann really going to divorce, or was that she was just throwing it out there so she'd leave her alone?
Hard to say. She did mean it, I think, but nothing had been done. This is only a week later. So it's hard to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was determined Bill died from one bullet in the back of the head. He was shot execution style with his own gun, the one he reported stolen. Detectives interview friends and family who all, of course, say, your girl's in Arkansas. That's who did it. And they recount their own experiences with Barbara. So detectives call Fort Smith, Arkansas police, who go to Barbara's house and break the news of Bill's death and ask her where she was the day before. And she says Walmart. And they don't have a warrant yet. So they asked if she would be willing to give them her computer. And she says, hell no. I don't want y'all spying on me. Y'all don't have a warrant, then get the hell out of my house. No, completely unwilling to talk to them. So they're like, fine. So they go to Walmart, pull the footage, and sure enough, there she is buying shit with her now husband. 1,600 miles away, a 25-hour drive. And they're like, well, that is weird. Oh, also impossible. So they call police back in Montana and tell them, and what they thought was going to be open shut case becomes so much more complicated.
Shit. Damn it.
But only 3 days later, Noah, their oldest son, or now oldest, sad. Noah gets a call from the sheriff's department who says, we've arrested your mother for the murder of your father.
Damn it. Barbara, I'm sorry.
Never trust an Ann. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I had a landlord situation with someone named Ann. Patrons, Apple subscribers, y'all know what's up.
Y'all know what's up. Episode 2 of our second bonus. I think third bonus maybe. Ann the landlord. Check it out. Never trust an Ann. Wow.
Never trust
Barbara, sorry for laughing so hard at all your nonsense.
Well, let's get into it. Well, I think you can't. It was all fake. So let's get into it.
Damn it. I started like,
you know,
I don't know. It was giving Carrie Farver, Liz Golier vibes, you know?
Okay, I get it. First of all, After conducting an autopsy, they determined Bill died somewhere between 10 p.m. Saturday night. God, Saturday's coming out really hard for me.
It's a tough
And
one.
12 a.m. Sunday morning. So he was already dead when Ann and Matt left the house the next morning. Several other damning pieces of evidence. They found a rubber cleaning glove in the holster that Bill reported missing in their laundry hamper, which, again, I don't mean to like chuckle at that, but it's kind of funny. That's where she chose to hide it. Because, Bill's not much of a laundry doer, is he? Clearly not.
Yeah, really. He'll never think to look here because he doesn't even know this place exists, this laundry room.
If I want to murder my husband, I'm hiding that weapon in my kid's diaper until I get my plan organized.
That's right. That's right.
Never find out.
Well, I mean, bye-bye. Gone forever.
So they sent the holster and the rubber glove to testing, and DNA found on both of them were from Ann. The 9mm was found in the garage in the saddlebag on Bill's motorcycle, which Barbara's not doing. She's not leaving the weapon there. She's tossing it. Yeah. So, and then there was one bullet in the chamber. So remember I said 3 bullets were stolen. One shell casing was found near Bill, the one that killed him. Now there's one in the gun in the chamber that was never used. So they're missing a 3rd bullet.
Yeah.
But as the investigation goes on, they notice, this is insane. They notice there was a flower bud inside the ammunition box. So detectives looked for the bush where that flower came from, and it was on it was in the Stout's front yard. Sure enough, there was a shell casing from the 3rd bullet. So they pulled a botanical expert for that particular blossom, and they confirmed that plant first bloomed on June 5th.
Stop.
6 days after Bill reported his gun missing, 4 days before his murder.
Oh, wait.
Now that is some good police work.
I've heard another story recently where it had something to do with like the native plant that was nearby, like dropped a little dust, and it could have never done it from this spot. It had to have done it on this spot. Like, it is crazy.
I mean, it's so creative to think, I would toss that flower bud out of there and never think about it again.
So I sort of don't get.
Okay, so what that means is if that gun was reported missing, yet it's in the 3 bullets, yet one of the bullets is in the bush and it was shot on June 5th, they determined she must have taken a practice shot in the front yard a few days before, used the 1 bullet in the back of his head, and never had to use the 3rd bullet.
Yeah. Okay.
So like
unless it Barbara landed in the flower bud?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Right. Unless Barbara sat outside in the front yard and did a practice shot before walking into the house. I really doubt that.
Where was the son during the murder? So if he died before they left for Missoula to go shopping.
So the night before, Barbara made Matt and Bill steak, potato, and broccoli. And then that was around 8 p.m. And then Matt went out with his friends. They went to a bonfire.
Yeah, he did.
And he came back at 11:30 p.m., which was before his curfew, but knowing that him and Ann were getting up very early the next day to go to Missoula to go shopping, he just came home early. So they determined that he was definitely killed between the time frame of 10 and midnight.
Yeah.
So while Matt was out, Matt confirmed, I never heard a bullet. I never heard a gunshot.
Oh, God. That is so gross. So then she slept in the house, let her son sleep in the house with Bill's body. Just, ugh.
Yeah. They asked, did you talk to your dad that morning? He's like, no, he's still in bed when we left. I'm like, yeah, he sure was. More damning evidence. God. Internet search history, of course. This isn't the worst of her damning evidence, but she did search how to poison people, how to kill someone, how to poison someone and get away with it, how to put a person to sleep, how to kill someone with common household poisons. So I think the goal was to poison them, but I guess she changed directions. They also found things like divorce and planning a divorce, which I'm all for. I love those Google searches.
That's fine.
Let's go that way.
Well, I mean, this is all stemmed from his weekend fling. I mean, that just really set her off.
Really? Well, there's theory of her oldest son's taking his own life. Apparently, Bill blamed her for it, which she knew. I think just resentment built.
Ouch.
I know. And even Noah, who's the only one who's interviewed, Matt's never interviewed, was like, he did blame her. I don't know why. This is what makes me lead me to believe that they all know why he did it. He said, Ben was faced with a difficult decision and he made a choice. That's all he says about it. So I'm like,
Okay.
I don't, so yeah.
But
if 5 years you're letting resentment build, just get out.
Not good. Just divorce.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then the affair really sent her over the edge.
That is, yeah.
And then they found various searches of Barbara Miller. Obviously, this is 2005 was the affair. That's when Facebook's a big thing. I bet she was all over that shit.
Yeah.
So amongst the several reports made by Ann and Bill was someone constantly calling the house and breathing into the phone and hanging up. So they never did anything with that when they reported it. But now that Bill's murdered, they trace those calls back, and they are coming from a payphone right outside Ann's work.
Oh, okay.
At the beginning of the story, I said she was a stay-at-home mom. I guess she started working when their kids were older. So.
Yeah.
The freak of ARC emails came from Ann's work computer.
That goes without
saying. The letters they received, all of them had only Ann's fingerprints on them. Not only on the outside, but the inside too, including her DNA that sealed it.
Oh my God.
So all of their friends who received letters, they all threw them away, except one, bless him or her. And DNA was found on that letter too. So they're like, you can explain away why your DNA is on your own letters, but your friend got a letter and no. And it's no.
Wow.
So how to postmark letters from another state? Well, according to
how do you postmark letters from another state?
Well, according to the case file, detectives did it by addressing a letter to themselves, stamping it, and putting it in a manila folder and mailed it to the postmaster in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And they successfully got it right back to them with the postmark and everything. So if you mail a letter to the postmaster of another state with kind of instructions on where you want that letter to go, they'll mail it for you. Oh. I was wondering why anyone would do that, why an innocent person would do this. And of course, found a subreddit of someone else asking from a decade ago. And their reason was writing a letter to a family member, but she didn't want this family member to know what town they were living in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Someone else said they were in charge of responding to Santa letters from kids. So she used to write out her responses as Santa, of course, and then mail it in a manila folder to North Pole, Alaska, which apparently is a place. That way kids would get a letter back from Santa postmarked with the North Pole.
Oh my God, if you have kids in the car, spoiler alert.
Cute as shit.
I love that.
Isn't that cute?
Earmuffs, kids. She's just
earmuffs. Kidding. I'm just kidding. That's from
Send it
Santa.
to the real North Pole. Brr.
Unsent letters were found in her car, which were postmarked from Arkansas to Montana. Anne didn't know how to shoot a gun, but they found a handwritten note in her bedside table in her own handwriting with what appeared to be instructions on how to load and shoot a firearm. It said shit like, I know.
Or joking.
It says things like, when the safety is on, red shows. When safety's off, no red shows. And Anne said that these were instructions for the washing machine. Wait. You load a bullet into your washing machine?
Sorry, you had to write down instructions for how to wash in your own washing machine?
Why do you yell, die motherfucker, when you're putting laundry into a dryer?
Why does your washing machine have a safety to begin with? No. Sorry. Anything else.
Oh my God.
She really thought she was going to get away with some shit.
That's ridiculous.
Like, never once watched any episode of anything. Dateline, Forensic Files, anything. She was like, they're never going to suspect me. Let alone, like, go talk to Barb. She lives a 27-hour drive away. Right. She just thought that they could report. And I guess she was right for a minute. They would never go talk to her. Be like, were you in Montana yesterday or this week, last week? Did you tap on a kid's window? That
is actually never explained. That just worked out in Anne's favor. Noah was like, there was someone out there. It could have been like, it was not
Her.
his mom. Sure. I don't know. Why would you freak out your own kid? Why aren't you tapping on Bill's window?
She's sending letters to him. She's sending letters to his friend. They're freaked
Yeah.
out. She couldn't care less about that. Maybe just have one more
That's true. But like,
person to be like, no, this is creepy now, and this bitch is in
but
town.
the reason his like antenna went up, the reason he was like, his attention was perked was because of the car that pulled into the driveway late at night. He would have heard Ann pull out and then back in again. So I'm like, was that? He's like, I don't know what that was. She's like, maybe I was just paranoid. Maybe it was in my head. No idea.
Yeah, maybe it was friends.
And I think the goal was, they'd go talk to Barb. She'd deny it, and everyone would be on Ann's side, be like, no, we have backup. He was
traveling across country is so verifiable.
Oh, I know. And it certainly was. So don't worry about that.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to
No, we're not over yet.
I want to get in Ann's head. Like, what did you think would happen? If she was the next town over, sure. But like,
right.
I don't care if every person in Darby is telling me that this is Barbara. It's actually not possible.
Right.
We have receipts that she was in Arkansas.
And she does. She presented that Walmart receipt and was like, 1 p.m. or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was like the exact time. No, she couldn't have done it.
I'm annoyed because Bill didn't have to die over this, because they should have verified that with the tapping, with the cars getting vandalized, with the plants and all that. They could have gone and talked to her and probably gotten proof that she has not been to Montana ever really early on, not 2 years later.
Sure. I know.
Sorry.
He died thinking, and I mean, he died thinking Barbara was doing this. So she's like, she had to live with that and be like, wait, no, hold on, damn it.
Clear my damn name.
So another more evidence against how they know the timeline, really. Bill's last meal, again, steak, broccoli, potatoes. Your stomach obviously stops digesting food the moment of death. And yet the medical examiner said the broccoli was still very recognizable, which means he was shot shortly after finished eating at 9 p.m. It couldn't have been Saturday. Wow. What?
I think earlier you said 8 p.m. But maybe they were started.
She made them dinner at 8 p.m.
There you go.
They finished dinner around 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't have been Saturday while Ann and Matt were out shopping. I looked it up, and apparently it takes about 50 minutes to an hour for your body to digest cooked broccoli. It was steamed broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
So had he been shot the next morning, that broccoli would have been long gone by then.
Yeah.
Lastly, they also found a notebook titled Really Mean Things Bill Has Said.
Whoa.
And it went back years. She documented everything mean he's ever said to her for years. The case file doesn't say exactly how many years or even give examples of what those things were.
The court document case file. The court document case file, not the podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Wow.
Oof, that is some serious resentment building, though. Do you think she just like looks back at it, reads it?
Start riling herself up. Oh my God. What's he saying? What's in it? Give me one example. Anything?
That's what's so annoying. That's why I actually subscribe to Rivali Republic. The case file doesn't give you much, like very clear timelines, or like I wanted to know when that wedding was. I wanted to know so bad. It doesn't even have that. It just says 2005. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
we need months.
A month.
I want to know what's in that. I want to see that notebook. I want to see that in evidence, please. So, needless to say, Ann's arrested, and for God knows what reason, she pleads not guilty. So the trial starts a year later, and most crucial person to take the stand is the very rational Barbara Miller.
Montana Barb,
who says, the fuck?
No. I don't.
What?
No. I would be so mad.
She's so pissed. She details their affair and the life plans they made, but so she never traveled to Montana. And in fact, she says, I've never even seen Montana until today. This is my first trip. Barbara Robertson, again, she's no longer Miller because she's remarried, said after receiving that email from Bill, that initial one, cutting things off, she did reply pissed and said he owed her a phone call or a face-to-face. But after he didn't respond to that one, she never reached out again. And that was the last contact they ever had. She testified, however, that she did later receive very aggressive phone calls from Ann a few times a year, actually. Barbara said it seemed like she was checking in on her. And truth be told, she's probably making sure that Barbara didn't move or wasn't dead or something. Can you imagine? Like all this happens. She frames this woman. Cops go to arrest this woman. And the family's like, she died a year ago.
Oh my God. That would have been
So I'm like,
crazy.
no, Ann's just, keeping tabs on you, making sure. So while Barbara was like, no, his ex-wife is bad. And it's like, she was like, Ann, please leave me alone. You're batshit. But she, at the same time, was like, fuck Bill. I'm not giving him the heads up. He just dumped me. I'm only respecting his wishes. I'm never going to contact him again.
Oh man.
I know.
This is like scary. It's a very Carrie Farver, Liz Goyer vibes. Very crazy.
The defense, suicide.
What?
What? Huh?
No.
To which the entire room goes, huh? Together. I'm like, wait, excuse me? So they said the undigested food meant he got up early and had leftovers for breakfast, which I'm like, okay, steak, potatoes, and broccoli for breakfast. Sure. Live large, Bill.
Yeah.
But the internet searches on how to kill someone was regarding himself. The gun in his saddlebag and the garage, the one he shot himself with, ended up in the garage in a saddlebag.
Not next to him. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. They argued that was someone who must have moved it out of respect for Ann, who lost her son to suicide years earlier. And the prosecution's like, okay, can that person please come forward?
Are you
Anyone?
here?
Anyone?
No?
Crickets. Okay, let's move on. And out of respect to Ann, the dead body on the bed would have been far more traumatizing than seeing the weapon that did it. You're going to come in, see a suicide, and take the gun, but still leave him so Ann can discover him? No. You're calling 911, you're getting a...
Yeah. And in the back of the head?
Right. None of it made sense.
Okay.
The jury took 6 hours to deliberate before finding Ann guilty of murder. Prosecution was pushing for life without parole. So Ann addressed the court in a very teary, air quotes, teary plea that her kids already lost their father. Now they're losing their mother. And the judge, who was completely unmoved, said,
yes,
the reason your children will be deprived of your company is not because you've been convicted of a crime. It's because you've committed the crime.
Right.
Like, don't blame this shit on us.
Right.
Please.
No, yeah, that is sad. But we totally agree. That sucks. Guess whose fault that is?
Right.
And then she moved to DC and bought a townhouse and put it on Craigslist and found Rebecca.
Oh my God. I was like, what? And then she found me.
I can't believe that.
Second victim.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. So Noah also took the stand. Noah was considered a witness, so he could not be there for the actual trial, only the sentencing. But he was against not ever being, I know.
Wait, why?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if that's a state thing or what, but Noah being considered a witness could not, I don't know, be there for the trial to hear. So he didn't hear any of that evidence or anything. And he was in college at the time. Matt would have been the one living at home and could really,
That's who I was thinking of, Matt.
Although it did start with Noah in the house. So I don't
Who knows? Okay. Wow.
But he was against the ruling to never be up for parole. He did think that she should have a second chance, saying, this is supposed to be justice for my father. When I think of justice for him, I don't see that as his grandchildren getting to know their grandmother by putting their hand against a piece of bulletproof glass.
Oh, sad.
I know. So because of that, the judge gave her life with the possibility of parole in 2038. She'll be 73 years old.
Whoa. Oh, she's a lot younger than I thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that is the insane story of Ann and Bill Stout. And poor Barbara.
Sorry, Barb.
Ann tortured him, mentally humiliating him, told everyone in town about their business and their sons. How dare you?
I wonder if there's a protocol in place where the postmaster of Fort Smith, Arkansas, a small town, is like, we've gotten like hundreds of these though. Why are we needing to process all this? What's going on? Probably not. I mean, I guess
probably not. It could be a business run out of, I don't know, who knows?
There's no, I guess, crime there, but it is a red flag. Like, what's going on? Why are these? I mean, these are coming all the time. This used to never happen, and it's been happening all the time. To all these people in
Yeah.
this very small town in Montana. What's going on up there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Town stalked by a weird Arkansas chick. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would be
But it's not gonna
very
be
curious.
he couldn't Google it back then. This all
Oh.
all came out after Bill's murder. Which I'm like, why didn't you subpoena
right.
the postmaster office? Whoever did it. I mean, like, did y'all get several letters like this in a manila envelope? They'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's weird.
Weird.
Or just call them. I love the detectives actually did it. We're just going to test it ourselves. I'm like, I bet you could just call them.
You could
like,
actually just ask any postmaster. But sure.
You know how many people Bill had to explain his affair to? Which, no, having an affair married,
don't do it.
It sucks.
But
don't do it.
No, he did not deserve
you
this.
You forgave him and divorced him. You didn't have to divorce him.
Yeah,
I was for those Google searches, planning a divorce. Love
there you
it.
go. Jesus.
And Barbara, who's actually heartbroken, had to live with the fact that the guy she was in love with once upon a time died thinking she did it. But sadly, Barbara actually also passed away in 2021 at the age of 64 for reasons that aren't known to the public. So hopefully, she's straightened everything out. With Bill up there.
Yeah, that is sad. She really is. I'm sorry how we went hard in the beginning.
I know.
Cut the whole beginning. I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm kidding. Obviously. Thank you.
I know. But that does make it a little easier to laugh at the barbecue when I'm like, Ann, you dipshit. Why? Wow, you really put a crazy cherry on top of that shitstorm.
I mean, where was she planning to host that? I wish everyone showed up.
At their house.
Okay. I wish everyone showed up.
I was like,
we just want to watch.
I think they very clearly called anyone who said they got an invitation to be like, no, that's
please don't come
crazy
over.
Stalker. But it wasn't.
Wow.
We say we're very insensitive because Ann's mentally ill too, clearly.
One could argue every single person we told a story about is mentally ill, and we call them dipshits and assholes and fuckers and crazy fuckers and whatever.
That's true. Patrons: Chloe, Sierra, Tara, Megan, and Adrian. Welcome and thank you for joining.
Welcome. We're about to record our bonus up. It's going to be crazy.
You're here in the nick of time. Custom shout outs from Rebecca. Not me. Yeah, this is from me. No. First, you guys are the best. Yeah, it's from me.
Thanks, Rob.
I want to shout out my first novel.
Oh, cool. That's badass.
Freeing Alexis. That's Freeing Alexis. It's about a woman on trial for the murder of her husband after shooting him in self-defense during a domestic violence confrontation.
Whoa.
That wasn't even on purpose to put this on the end of this episode.
Right. But
Anne would have had a better shot with
a self-defense.
Given that notebook.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, that's
it's
cool,
available.
though.
That's cool, Rebecca. It's available on Amazon. Everyone go check it out. Freeing Alexis.
Freeing Alexis. I love a good book. Okay, it's a page turner. I like this. Okay. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy it.
Second one's from Margie. I want to shout out you two broads. Love it.
Y'all.
You remind me of me and my own sister with your banter. Also, I put your sticker on my server book, so it serves two purposes. I get to tell people about your podcast, and it sends a message. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
You're
a very
the tits,
strong,
XOXO.
Very strong message.
A fact, actually.
They know that.
Thanks, Margie. Yes, I love walking ads.
Thanks for that display. Yeah, really.
And last one's from Dana to her daughter, Deanna Gillian. I don't know, for telling me about your podcast. I'm obsessed. Thanks, Deanna, for telling your mom, and thanks, Dana, for shouting out your daughter. We love her too.
Yeah, y'all both rock. How's that? How you like that?
Y'all are the best.
People are the worst.
Bye.
Bye-bye.